This episode of the Blue Collar Real Estate Podcast brought to you by Stacy Mayo and the Scott Miller team at Ruoff Mortgage. Whether you're buying new or refinancing, Ruoff has a solution for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to Blue Collar Real Estate. I'm Greg, sitting here with my main man, Juan Valdez. And, Jason behind the controls at Studio J. Brother, how you been?
I'm doing good. I recently changed my name to Juan Valdez, and doing fantastic.
Well, you're the one for me.
There you go. There you go. So what's going on, brother? It's been 3 weeks since we've shot a live episode. Here we are. It's Friday at 5, which is my favorite new saying. And so what's going on, man? It's like season 2 of Blue Collar Real Estate. We're moving forward with everything. A lot has evolved since season 1 began. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, dude. You go back and look at those first several episodes, even first 15 or 20, and just thinking about sort of the journey you and I have both been on. And individually, right?
Totally.
The common books we've read, the ones we've shared with each other, the difference in direction with business and all that kind of stuff. And so today, I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit and talk about what Jason's doing. Jason's back there behind the command control center.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And this cat's got a lot going on.
And that's what I love about this.
And it's still Christmas in my world, too, by the way. one more week at least.
Live on air Christmas in Studio J.
Show enough.
But amen. And so that's what I'm excited about, is because for the previous 9 episodes, I believe, we talked about the trades industries. We talked about entrepreneurship, basically, if we will. And that's what I'm excited about, is because we're going to, in essence, dive into that, because you and I have both, in essence, started new businesses in the last year. Jason's business is growing exponentially right now, and we really want to just talk about the opportunities that exist when you simply choose to apply yourself, right?
Exactly. And I had this conversation with my 19-year-old now.
Little birthday in there.
Literally, his birthday's the same day as mine.
Look at that.
How cool is that?
That makes things really easy for your wife, is what that does.
Oh, yeah. And real easy for me, because it takes all the pressure off my birthday.
Amen.
But anyway, yesterday we were sitting in the living room talking, and I told him, for years I fitted and started and did this and that and the other. My second book's out, and we'll talk about that in a little bit and what's going on with that. But I'm working on the third book, and I've already outlined the next one. It's taken me a while, and what I encourage my son to do is, first pay your bills.
That's important, I hear.
Especially
if you want to have good credit and buy a house. Right. That's important.
And I love houses. I love everything about houses. Building them, remodeling them, different architectural styles. I just dig it. But my true passion, what gets me up in the morning and makes me all tingly in my tummy, is writing. And seeing what story can do for people, right?
Oh, it's everything.
And so
we all connect with story, right?
Right.
Like we all, we don't we don't connect with facts. We connect with relating to the story in which you just told, right? And that's what I love about what you're doing, and writing these books. And I'm so excited to share with everybody on the show the trailer for your new book that just came out. It's exciting, man, and that takes time. It takes consistent daily discipline in order to even make that a reality.
And the lessons I learned, and I told my son this yesterday too, the lessons that I learned in growing a business from a sales and management standpoint in real estate, I just applied those to writing a book.
Yep.
You can literally take those tenets, the Darren Hardy, we always talk about Darren,
yep,
my dude, my mofo, sure enough. But, hi.
I wish my voice went that deep. It just doesn't.
You should have, well, we'll talk about that. Well, I got to say it.
I'm like a soprano, basically, in the choir.
That reminds me of an Alan Jackson song.
Maybe a tenor, if I'm lucky.
Back home, we like the girls that sing soprano. 'Cause where I come from. Jason, jumping in with me?
I got nothing.
I got nothing on that either.
Not a huge country fan.
We're going to leave you hanging on that one, brother.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm late for stuff. Hey, my watch is off. Anyway.
How much did he have to drink before the show anyway?
This show brought to you by Pure Agua.
Pure Agua.
I'll blur that out later.
What?
I'll blur out the, because they're not actual sponsors.
No, they're really not.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to blur it out. That's too much work.
But anyway, those tenets apply, right?
They all do.
And you and I have tried some different stuff in the last year, and some stuff kind of worked and some stuff didn't. I hit my stride with the book. You hit your stride with Roofco. You started developing a solar program for residential, which I'm super excited to talk about. because when we first started talking about it, we were both kind of like, well, I kind of understand it, and I think this is how it works. And the last time I talked to you, standing on my roof looking at where we could put panels, you just went,
dude, that's like what I had another appointment yesterday with a really, a gentleman that lives downtown Indianapolis, and super cool guy. He and I super connected, and it was like second nature at this point. It was just, all right, here's the things that we need to do, here's what'll work, here's what maybe we need to consider, and just evaluating his needs. And it went from, something that was 100% foreign to me 6 months ago to something that I love having a conversation about now, because it just gets my, it lights my fire, because it does something to help evolve the world, I think, and everybody wants to do their own little part to, help contribute to the good of the world. It does that, but at the same point in time, I just love it. It's just cool as hell, and it's a new tech. It's not new technology, but it's something that excites me, and there's something like that out there for everybody, which is what I want everybody to just take away from this episode. Is like, you just got to go find new stuff, do new stuff, and figure out what really lights your fire, in order, and just pursue that with just this daily conviction and passion to get better at it every single day. And it just, it starts to form and evolve. And then all of a sudden in 6 months, you got a business, and it's fun. And you got people that want to talk to you about it, and more people that want to do it. And then all of a sudden you can't get even the solar panels that you want to install because there's so many other people that want to do it.
Right.
Like, I have supply problems right now. That's what we're dealing with. But it's just, you can learn so much in a short period of time if you just simply choose to make a decision to do so.
And that, to me, is a super important point, and it almost like puts a head on what we've been talking about for the last several weeks. You find a skilled trade, find something you want to do. Maybe it's not roofing for some guy.
No, but it doesn't matter what it is.
My electrician was out yesterday doing some stuff to the house. We're changing out service panels, some other stuff. I've known this guy since junior high. He's a super good guy. He shows up on time, does what he says he's going to do.
And then magically you call him in to help you the next time you have a problem, right?
Yeah, and when he got there, and we had trouble with the power company, and that's another story, but I said, look, dude, once you get the power kicked off, I'm going to go run some errands. So you want anything? There's leftover chili in the fridge. You want to make a sandwich, whatever you want to do. And he kind of laughed, and I'm like, I trust you. I know you're going to do what you... But, and he's that guy, right? He's that contractor. Champion Electric's the name of the company. They're not a sponsor, but they should be, Kent. Anyway, he's just a great dude. And so he and I started talking about the trades like you and I have been. And everybody in the trades understands it. What we're trying to do is to get people outside of the trades
to just expose the idea and new thought process to somebody.
Right.
Because it's not something that's taught in schools anymore.
And we've talked about that. We've talked about at some point when COVID insanity lifts and things.
100%.
Getting out any chance we can in front of groups of young people or old people, inmates, I don't care what they are, if they're interested in learning about the trades.
100%.
We're going to get out there and talk to those folks.
Oh, we're going to move the world in the next 3 years. I know that, because it's just something that I'm so passionate about, and there's just an infinite amount of opportunity involved. So we're going to take a little bit of a sidestep here, because I want to boast on Greg here just a little bit. And that is that he has written a book that, tells a story that is meaningful to him. And one of the things that I think we all have as human beings is a story to tell. We've all lived a life, right?
Right.
We've all experienced, ups and downs, and some of us, not quite as dramatic as others, but at the end of the day, we all have lived a life and we've experienced things. And you have done something that I don't want to say jealous of, but I applaud you for, because you've taken the time to put your experience into words that is going to be there for anybody that can experience this, that's going through the same challenges that maybe you experienced in your life. You've taken the time to do that and tell a story that's going to connect with people and hopefully help improve and change lives. And I love that. Absolutely love that.
Man, that's my hope. At the end of the 12-step program, whatever 12-step program you're in, they talk about sharing experience, strength, and hope. In other words, you get help and you get better and you work through some of your own demons and whatever, and then you go share your experiences about that. You share the hope that you got from that with other people.
But that's what it's about, is you first have to help heal yourself.
Right.
And then after you heal yourself, then you can then help heal others that are experiencing the same challenge and hardship, et cetera, in life. And that's across any platform, period. But I'd like, Jason, if you don't mind, pull up this trailer, because Greg has a new teaser, if you will, for the book that he had that just came out that just really helps tell the story of what's going on and what this book is about. And I've shared this book with 3 people that have all read the first handful of chapters, like with me there, period, and they've all said this is exceptional. So I absolutely want to introduce this book. So Greg, tell us a little bit about it, and then Jason, if you don't mind, let's share the trailer with the audience so that way they can experience the same thing.
Well, first, full disclosure.
Yeah.
I had no idea what a book trailer was 6 months ago.
No, but it's well done.
And
it's
it really
well
is.
done.
And then what do we talk about all the time from the books we read about business and entrepreneurship and whatever? It's about finding people that are doing what you want to do and figuring out how they do it, right?
That's it.
And so I've been, ever since the book was put in the hands of my editor a few months ago, I've been doing that. I come across this idea of a book trailer. It looks like a movie trailer, but it's for a book. And I watched...
And dude, the comments you had, like, there was an infinite amount of comments that were like, is this going to be a movie?
Yeah.
Like, immediately. Which was awesome.
So cool.
Which was so cool.
My son Nick was like, is this a movie? I'm like, it will be someday.
Yes.
And so you put that trailer out and it becomes a marketing, and I must have watched 30 or 40 of them, and I found this company that I really liked the work they did. I sent them the synopsis and kind of what I was looking for. They produced that. I did the voiceover here in Studio J. With Jason, and it turned out so cool. And to me, and this is something I've struggled with, as you know, the idea of selling my book. Mm-hmm. Because to me, it's a story that I want to help people. Now, in order to get that in as many hands as possible, and let's be honest, 62 million abortions in the U.S. alone since Roe v. Wade, and 1.6 billion on the planet since 1980, there are a lot of people that could benefit from reading that book.
You got it. So that's what we want to do. Jason, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and roll this trailer so everybody can experience kind of what Greg has introduced to the world.
Just weeks away from graduation, Ben found himself on the steps of a clinic. Alone, confused, and afraid, his girlfriend was inside, making a decision neither could ever undo. For the next decade, Ben lived each day reacting to life and running from life. But now it seems life is passing him by and he feels powerless. Moments come and go, as do people and places, but peace is elusive and always just out of reach. On the road to redemption, Ben will be tested, but the promise of renewed relationship with God and purpose of life is too strong to ignore.
That's awesome.
Dude, they did such a great job.
Truly is awesome. Truly is awesome. So that's what I want everybody to kind of walk away from this, this episode of Blue Collar Real Estate with, is just that, that inspirational hope of encouragement that, you know what, yes, you can. Yes, you can do anything you effing want to do in your life if you just simply commit to a plan to doing it every single day.
Yep.
And then simply, 6 months later, it becomes a reality. 3 years later, it becomes a reality. Whatever that time period is, you can't attach yourself to that. But every single day, if you make the commitment to doing what is in your heart, it's going to come to reality. And that's awesome, dude. It's so awesome. So I'm excited for you.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm ecstatic, and I'm ecstatic to see what this year brings for the book and for the story. With COVID and not doing a lot of live stuff, it's a little different, but the opportunities to get in front of people, to share the talk I've got, or to share a testimony or whatever I can do, I'm just excited to see where it goes. Now, for you, and as we get into Roofco, I want to back up a little bit. So you and I met 4.5, 5 years ago.
Yep.
I started at a brokerage you were at the time, and you were like the BMOC, right?
I don't even know what that means.
Big man on campus?
Oh, something. That was something.
Trainer.
I worked there.
Manager or something.
I worked there.
But we talked a little bit. I worked out of a different office and kind of knew each other here and there.
Yeah.
I had a good impression of Ryan. You know what I mean?
That's probably the nice clothes I wore.
Yeah, no, I had to get past that. I had to get past the fancy clothes.
By the way, this is the first day, if you're watching on YouTube, that I've worn a collared shirt in a good long while. I had to put my realtor with a big OR at the end of that. hat today. So.
He showed up in black. And I told him to change because
earlier.
he would just look like a floating head.
I did have a floating head on before we started the show, and Jason, thanks to his not wanting me to look completely stupid, yeah, he encouraged me to make a wardrobe change. So
and this used to be your thing every day.
This is what I used to wear, but now I'm a contractor. I wear polos, I wear jeans, I wear hoodies. Like I help people get things done.
Think about this. Now. So that was then. You left, went to another place. You and I ended up having lunch at some point. I ended up coming over to the place you were at, and we started working together a lot.
Yeah.
We started talking about different things. We worked on a couple of flips together. We started this podcast and started toying around different ideas and seeing what we could figure out. But we were still committed to real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. Like, this is 100%. All that's going on. The more time we spent together and the more we started working together, well, that's when you proposed.
No,
I'm kidding. I just like saying stuff once in a while, Jason, to see if he's paying attention.
He's not.
No, I wondered if Jason was. That was a long pause. But so then you started talking about when we were doing a flip.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I think I'm going to get back into roofing.
Well, it was really because I enjoyed the flip so much. I enjoyed like what my day looked like as we were doing that initial flip. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I've just got to do this. Like, I love it. I was excited to get up and go meet the crew at 7 a.m. Like, that's like I'd love to get up with something like to make happen that day, to go empower some other people, to go make something happen, and then go meet some other people. Like, I love that. And so, yeah, that was really the catalyst that made me start Roofco. There was some episodes before that with some contractors that didn't show up, roofing contractors that didn't show up, didn't do what they said that they were going to do, and definitely didn't show up on time. And that was, it was the perfect storm of like, you know what, I'm going to pivot. Because I still help people with real estate. Now I help people fix their house instead of necessarily helping people sell their house. And still, I help a handful of people here and there sell their house. But my main goal is I want to educate people. I want to help them understand, if you're going to spend $18,000 on a roof, what are you paying for? Because it's like stupid, as you always say, ugly money. Like, that's what I do. I spend people's ugly money on their houses, but it's unfortunately something that everybody has on their house. And so I have the opportunity to go help people learn about this stuff, make sure that they spend their money in the right directions. That's my goal. Like, I love being a teacher. I love teaching people about this stuff. That's why I've spent literally the last 10 days of my life in a studio recording all these videos to teach people what to do if you ever have to replace your roof, how to do some things on your own, because I'm so passionate about that. Yeah. And it's not something that's for everybody, but I just happen to love roofing, and there's people that happen to love electrical, there's people love concrete work, there's people who love accounting, God bless all of those people, but that's something I just truly enjoy doing. And then solar is something that just happens to fit on the top of a roof, and
right,
and I love that because it's something that I believe can truly change the world. And if there's enough of us collectively that come together that say, you know what, I want to do a little bit to help the world out. Well, a little bit, as we well know from Darren Hardy, a little bit spread across a long period of time,
compound effect
with a lot of people, all of a sudden that makes a gigantic gargantuan difference in what we're doing with greenhouse gases, et cetera. And I don't want to spend any time on this show talking about that right now. It's a whole nother subject, but that's what's important to me. And so that's my contribution to the world, is how can I help reduce that through my work initiative, if you will. And so I could not be more excited going into 2021.
So what do you think? What's your plan business-wise? What's 2021 look like for Ryan?
Well, we're going to install at least 25 solar jobs this year. We did 3 last year. It was our first year in it. I learned an infinite amount. It was a great paid education, learning how to do solar last year. But I want to help 25 people next year, and I want to help 100 next year, and I want to help 400 the year after that. That's my goal as we continue to grow and learn and evolve, is that's what I want to do. And we'll help an infinite number of more people with their roofs and roof repairs, throughout that period of time as well. But it's all about surrounding yourself with the right people and doing business the right way and empowering and encouraging and inspiring others to reach for more and do it better every single day. That's my mission.
Let's hold on that part for a minute. So finding the right people.
Yeah.
We were talking, it's probably a month and a half ago, at the Blue Collar Real Estate Global Headquarters.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the trouble we were having finding people to do certain jobs. We both realized that in roofing, especially, there are a large number of highly skilled, highly qualified people whose primary language happens to be Spanish.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, so there's a gap there.
Yeah.
You and I no habla.
Espanol.
Right. So we decided we would both download these apps and start learning Spanish.
Yep.
And so there's been this kind of challenge game afoot, right?
Yep.
Where, and we'll have a surprise about that in another 6 or 7 months. But so you found the guys you needed.
Please tell me it involves sombreros.
It might. It might.
See.
Jizz.
But so there was a problem. And not to get all vanilla ice on you, but there was a problem. You solved it.
Which he totally stole from Queen, by the way. He totally stole that from Queen.
Yeah, he did.
Let's not get political.
Like, literally stole that stuff from Queen.
I don't know what Elizabeth has to do with it, but...
Do you ever see Vanilla Ice or Rick Van Winkle defend that? He's like, no, mine was like ding, 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 ding. And then theirs was ding, ding. Yeah.
No.
Didn't really.
You stole that, dude. You stole that, dude. You stole that from Queen, which I have a problem with. But anyway... I'm not going to solve it.
I swear to God, when you first said Queen, in my mind I heard, "Oh, lovey." I didn't, but that's not what. That was like Julia Childs.
Not the Freddie Mercury Queen. No.
Right.
That was not that.
But so there was a problem. Found a solution. Right. Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell on you here quick because look, Ryan just turned white. He's like, "What are we doing?" Now, a few weeks ago when we talked, you said you wanted to do 20.
Yep.
This is one of the things I dig about you. This is why you're, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you truly are inspirational. And I ain't trying to jack with you. You really are, because you sat down at some point, I don't know what goes on in your head, and you went 20. Heh, pish posh. I did 3 this year. Hell with it. 25 next.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that's why...
Because it's more than 2 a month, right? It's more than 2 a month. And 2 a month is an easy, attainable goal, but at some point in there, I've got to do better than that, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying 2 a month is easily and obtainable, but I'm saying 2 a month is like 2 round figure. So you've got to do better than that. You've got to one up that, I feel. You know, it's like, you know, you're never going to get more in life unless you ask the man above for more in life. And so you do more, you push yourself, you learn whatever the hell you have to learn. You ask for whatever referral you have to ask for. But you just make it happen. Like, that's what business is all about. That's what just, you know, I've got this goal, I've got this mission, I've got this purpose in life, this divine destiny, whatever name, title, blah, blah, blah you want to put to it. Like, that's what you want to do. And so, yeah, it's 25 this year. I want to do 25 solar installs this year. And that could be one panel helping one dude just discover, you know, how this stuff works, which we did. We sold 3 panels in a, like, wood display to one dude who just wanted to discover how this stuff worked. Like, what could this stuff charge? That was our, lowest price solar install. But quite frankly, that was one of my more enjoyable conversations.
Oh, yeah.
I loved this conversation because he was, like, so skeptical, but yet open-minded enough to... what could this, you know, like, what could this do?
Yeah.
What, you know, what possibilities exist? And man, I love that challenge. I absolutely love that challenge because this dude and I talk every week. Like, I pull up his graph on our solar chart and I'm like, dude, you had a good week. Well, last few weeks have not been good because it's like cloudy and snowing in Indiana and all that stuff. But nevertheless, like, it's a fun conversation back and forth every week about what do we need to do to make this work better next year. I love that stuff.
And see, that's what's cool. That looking for the opportunity.
Yeah.
It to some people that's it's just one panel. Why am I messing with that? To you, it's an opportunity to teach. I reopened my woodworking business. I say that just so I have the counts separated and all that. But I went ahead and had the logos redone because I did a charcuterie board for a client when they closed, and she went nuts over it. Super great couple, and she was really excited about it. And then somebody else said, hey, can you make one of those so I can give it to my boss as a gift? And I'm like, yeah. So I made another one. Now I've got I've got orders for 3 more.
That's so cool.
They just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, well, I got a table and a coffee table to finish. But it's just being open to those opportunities. Now, the other opportunity I want to talk about is the opportunity for that beautiful man behind the control panel over there
let's just transition that to a blessing, because without Jason and Studio J, this podcast wouldn't exist. Like, I would have given up long ago, and you probably would have too.
Yeah.
Stop.
So,
there he is.
I'm blushing. You can't see.
So let's dive into like what opportunities exist in the world of Studio J, and because Jason, I mean, quite frankly, and this episode's all about entrepreneurship. It's about what opportunities exist if you simply apply what you love to do, and you have literally built an entire business around. I mean, you've converted this entire space in your arena into this quite frankly newsworthy studio.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Which is so awesome. We get so many comments all the time on like, oh my gosh, where do you guys do this stuff at? So tell us about your story, dude. Like, where are you going, and who are the people that you can help? Because there's a lot of people that maybe have a story to tell with a podcast, story to tell with like a video cast on YouTube, etc. Like, who are the people that you're helping right now? Because there's a lot of people that I know could benefit from what you do.
Well, thank you for that. I just love what I do. I've been doing it since '97, and it's I acquired some new gear less than 2 years ago, and just figured out how to it just evolved. It really just evolved very organically, just by pushing its limits and figuring out what it can do and all that. This was in a totally different space, and it just kind of became suitable and very I'll say more than adequate for podcasts. And man, it just really, I never advertised anything. It just organically grew almost overnight. And I produce 10 podcasts now, including you guys, and I just love it. And so it's I do podcasts about music and real estate, a couple of real estate ones, motivational speaking, health, wellness, that kind of thing. So we got a pretty cool gamut going on, and man, I just love it. And I had a record year last year, which is crazy to say in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to 2021 and seeing how I can take it to yet another level, and even transform this place a little bit more. I got some ideas. So
it's evolved a lot in the last year. I will say that it's evolved. It's it's exceptional.
But you don't just do podcast.
That's right. That's right. And actually, so last year I grabbed a big corporate account, which looks like it's going to be winding up probably at the end of this month. And so I'm kind of excited about the next thing. I may kind of look at we got the COVID vaccine out now, so I'm hoping things will help return to a little bit of normal, which I need to do a TV show that's produced and shot and edited solely by me with talent in front of the camera, of course. But I'm excited to kind of use because I've produced 4 TV shows. I want this to be another season of my In the Loop TV show, and with 4 hosts, and having now a whole nother platform to kind of utilize with that TV show could really be cool. So I'm excited about it. But I was getting ready to do another season back in March, and of course the world changed, and
life happened.
It's hard enough to do a show, produce a TV show by myself on a perfect day. It's a lot of work, and I'm but a single man, and so I just had to put the brakes on that. So I'm hoping that at some point in 2021 I can fire that up and showcase Indianapolis, restaurants and businesses and establishments and people and things like that. But I don't make too many long-term plans, to be honest. There's really a lot of flow and just kind of gut instinct and seeing where things take me. But just working really hard too, of course. I love to work, and it doesn't feel like work, and it always ends up being a fun product to work on.
And isn't that amazing? Well, all 3 of us are into different stuff, right? But all 3 of us are doing what we love, and because you love it, Jason, we've seen in a year and a half seen the transformation in here. Because you love it, because you're passionate about what you're doing, you find ways to improve, to get better. Maybe it's getting better equipment. For any of us, really, frankly. You guys keep telling me my writing tool, my laptop's wrong because it's not a Mac.
Yeah, I'd love to recommend a Mac to you at any point in your life. It'll make your life better.
But this is, it works. But
Yeah, for another year, and then it won't.
Right. Well, it better last longer than that. It's only a year old.
I know, that's a problem. That's why you buy a Mac.
Careful, Ryan. Apple is notorious for getting
years.
Obsolete.
8 years.
8 years? Yeah,
years
I've got a
right
couple.
here.
I've got, I use 2 laptops for this show, and they're both 2012s. So
That's yeah, there you go, 8 years.
But it's
right?
becoming, one is
9.
obsolete, and another one is more obsolete.
Well, it's getting there.
my
It's
my
getting
one
there.
can no longer upgrade. You can't upgrade to the Big Sur operating system.
So one thing I want to like piggyback on what Jason said though, outside of like the Mac stuff being awesome and everything else not being awesome, is this. He loves to work, right? So work ethic. You
Yep.
show up every day. You get better at what you do, right? Okay, and then you invest your time in developing a skill in which you love to like perfect, so it doesn't seem like work. Now all of a sudden, he just said it's all grown organically, right or wrong, Jason?
That
it's
is
all
correct.
grown organically, which means you're not dropping. You don't have to have a marketing budget, right? Because you do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, and you show up on time and like deliver. Guess what? Word spreads because nobody does that. Nobody does that, period. So,
Right.
and if you want to scale and grow across the nation, yes, you can start investing in marketing and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, depending on what your goals are, all you have to do is those 3 things, period. He just literally repeated the same things that we just talked about for the last 8 weeks.
Right.
And his business has done the exact same thing, which is entirely different than our businesses, right or wrong.
Entirely different.
And you haven't been able to see me through those shows back here, but I'm usually nodding like, yeah, that's absolutely correct. And that's hard to find for some reason, especially all 3 of those.
And I'll tell you something else. In Jason's world, it's hard to find. In a world gone mad. I tried to find about a month and a half ago. So, long story short, me and a buddy of mine have written 3 songs for the book.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't a band together 30 years ago and whatever. I won't say the name of the band. It was kind of stupid. But
that's a weird name.
yeah,
It's kind of stupid.
it was Truculent Squash. That was the name of the band. So
interesting.
we were going to get in the studio and write these 3 songs, and then when I went out and did talks, I was going to play and sing these songs. So I started calling around studios in Indy to figure out how much recording time was. Contacted 3 studios 5 weeks ago. Not heard anything back from any of them yet.
Oh, there you go. Obviously, they're busy. Super busy.
Yeah.
Really busy.
Too busy to take my money, literally.
Yeah.
I got a studio you can call after we wrap here.
Okay.
Highly recommended. No, I'm not talking about mine. I'm not talking about mine. I'm not a music studio.
Right.
I'm talking about a real good Grammy Award-winning studio.
But that's
And I'm not going to say it on the air just in case they're one of the ones you've already reached out to.
right.
I'm sure they're not, but just in case.
But my point is, all the tenets apply to all 3 of our businesses and our worlds and what we love.
Yeah.
And we all have other businesses in our universes that suffer from not being able to do those 3 simple things.
That's it.
I swear I'm going to get that put on a T-shirt.
You should.
Ooh, there's another business idea. Nobody
You'll owe me a 4% royalty fee for that, by the way.
Really? Well,
copyright.
okay, but my daughter-in-law can make T-shirts, so I'm going to have her make some up, and then we'll sell them, and I'll give you 4%. That's fine. Jason, how much you want?
3 Simple Things sounds like a name of a band.
There it actually does.
3 Simple Things.
Well said. Well
Way
said.
better than my other band name, which was Trouser Sneeze. But
What were you doing when you came up with your band names? Like, that's something I'm curious about right now.
neither one of those were real.
And it's weird that band existed 1 year ago.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, no, that wasn't a real. Jason's doing that thing with the camera again.
Yeah.
I see
Mixing it
the
up.
red light, and it's like,
Well, I'm not usually in the show, so I'm trying to incorporate myself as much as possible. Not really, but kind of. Proceed.
oh my God, I'm having so much fun right now.
Moving along.
Yeah, so let's shift gears a little bit, and I just want to. We mentioned it in the last episode we did a few weeks ago, but I want to talk a little bit about where we're heading as a show.
Yeah.
We have got a couple new builds working right now. We had a little break due to the weather and some different things, and over the holidays, but we are going to follow those builds through the process.
Fruition, yeah.
We're going to talk about the trays involved in each one, and I'll get some little videos and bring them back for Jason to plug in. At on site as they're going along. We're going to talk about each of those trades. We're going to talk about what they do, what they make, why it's important, why having it done right's important. And I'm excited about that part of it. And we are going to continue our focus on the skilled trades and promoting the trades, right?
Yeah. 100%. You know, because that, you know, I think that's one of the biggest things that we want everybody to take away from this show is that, you know, there's opportunity that exists in the world. You know, I want to provide hope, encouragement, empower other people to do what they want to do in their life. And, you know, whether that's, you know, fixing computers, but, you know, for us, you know, those people aren't, you know, probably aren't watching the show. It's the people that, you know, we can empower that have an interest in like doing something with real estate, something with their house, something with improving all of that. And those opportunities are 100% out there, and we want to encourage and empower people to go find those things. We want to help connect the, you know, those dots for people. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah. And with that, I kept what?
There you go.
All right. Can we stay here for just a second? I knew it.
Can't help it.
Anyway, with that, we're going to wrap the show today. I just want to say I'm thankful that the three of us are doing this.
Amen.
And I want to say to you out there, go out, find your passion, find a way to make it happen, and by all means, if you do nothing else today, find a way to encourage somebody else.
That's what it's all about. Make everybody else's world a little bit better place, and by turn, yours will be as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for Blue Collar Real Estate. I'm Ryan Herget. This is Greg Mayo. Be sure if you took anything away from this episode, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we would certainly love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, and that's it. Everybody,
Jason,
have an amazing week.
Take us home, baby.
Goodbye, everybody.